to have two CEOs from member carriers of Star Alliance. One longtime member, 2014, is Air India, is represented by Campbell Wilson, and a new member, represented by Jorge Eberhardt of ITA, joined again with Theo. So I'll start with a question for Campbell. We had members of the media attended a briefing with Campbell today, and he said that if Dubai were in India, it would be the 20th largest city in India, which I found to be completely fascinating. And at the time of privatization of Air India, there were only 43 wide bodies in the country. It's the what the Economist calls the Everest of aviation. So, Campbell, what's it like trying to climb Mount Everest?
Well, it's actually the Everest of corporate turnarounds, and it's even larger than aviation. Look, I think all of you have heard over the past few days, the India story. You know, that it's the third largest domestic travel market in the world, growing at 8% a year for the next 15 years, yet it only has a propensity to travel by air 1/5 that of China. You've heard the international market, there's a 35 million diaspora served only by 43 wide-body aircraft less than 3 years ago. And so the privatization of Air India into the Tata Group, which is one of India's most respected corporate houses, really for the first time allows India the power to realize the opportunity ahead of it. And so what we've been working on this past 3 years is a top-to-bottom transformation, completely changing infrastructure, completely changing people, completely changing culture, and frankly, setting our aspiration for growth by committing to the purchase of more than 570 aircraft. So really, this is a transformative time for India, it's a transformative time for Air India, and we think it's fantastic that as a member of Star Alliance, we can anchor the Star Alliance in such a large, fast-growing and important travel market.
Jorg, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Benvenuti a Star Alliance. It must be quite exciting, a large weight off your shoulders to now be part of the world's largest global airline alliance. What's it like? What should customers expect when ITA formally joins?
First of all, we're very excited to join Star Alliance, the biggest alliance in the industry. 25 airlines are the carriers, and say more than 190 countries. We're just adding one country with Italy, but we also add Italian culture. So we're very glad to be here. We're very glad to have this kind of welcome from Star Alliance. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done now. There's a whole list of, let's say, integration work. But as you just mentioned, we are looking from the perspective of our customers. So our customers have to experience seamless travel. They have to experience closeness to all the other carriers. All the world is now opening.
Theo, as I mentioned, Air India joined in 2014. ITA will join in 2026. Across Star Alliance, there's many different markets, different cultures. How does the Star Alliance maintain its brand across all of the airlines in Star Alliance, and how do you ensure a seamless customer experience across millions of trips per year for those customers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last point is the critical one, and that the aspiration is to make travel as effortless as possible across multiple member carriers. And I think if you think about the original premise of alliances, it's about not one airline can serve all the destinations around the world. So having partner carriers come together to be able to leverage each other's network, take advantage of those networks, and to maximize reach and get customers to destinations that these individual carriers may not be able to achieve on their own. And so we're very proud to have Air India as one of our core members that represents India, as Campbell quite rightly outlined. It's such a fast-growing market, and what Star can do is deliver more choices, more options, and more convenience to the travelling market, travelling public in India. It's great to have ITA joining Star early next year. Italy brings some brand new destinations and opportunities for our member base, and ultimately, when member carriers join us, it's about incremental opportunities and growth. And so our focus at Star with the various members is to harmonise the customer experience, to be able to give those the more options and more choices in a way that allows customers to experience it in a seamless manner. That's the aspiration. There's multiple touch points to address, and we're very committed to it.
Campbell, let's talk a little bit about the multi-year transformation of Air India. How does that transformation impact Air India's participation in Star Alliance? I understand that at the time of privatization, there were 0 active co-chairs with Air India.
So I think fair to say that Air India hadn't enjoyed the investment that many carriers had for some decades and was not a very attractive partner. As a consequence, there were no active interline partnerships with any of the Star Alliance carriers 3 years ago when Air India was privatized. But thanks to the commitment we have made to customer experience, to fleet, to expansion, to quality, we've now established interline agreements with all of the Star Alliance carriers. We have co-chair agreements with nearly all Star Alliance carriers. We're building even closer commercial arrangements with key partners, including those in the Lufthansa Group, Singapore Airlines, Air New Zealand, ANA, and soon to be others. And we see this as an extension of our network. We fly to 112 destinations on our own. Star Alliance serves nearly 600. It's just a commitment to the customer that we will now be able to offer the Indian traveller and the traveller to India a seamless, consistent customer experience across all of our partners, all of our extended network, recognition of their loyalty status, which I think is something that is important to all of the 25 carriers, but particularly important to today's Air India.
Jorg, tell us a little bit about, for the global journalists that might not be as familiar with ITA, what's on the roadmap for 2025 and 2026 for the airline itself?
So ITA is an airline of about 100 aircraft, of which 22 long-range aircraft. It's a network airline with a hub in Rome, Fiumicino. Besides that, there's another continental hub in Linate. We are pretty much concentrated on Italy, on the long range, with a focus on North America, but not only, also South America, some sub-Saharan destinations, and of course also India, where we hope to enter into a cooperation with you as well. So this is a very important milestone for us, also Star Alliance process adherence. And at the end we started a couple of integration projects with the Lufthansa Group, more than 60. For this year, I would say the most important thing is to have a stable operation during the summer, because at the end this is the basis of our service, that the flight is leaving and not being cancelled, and the flight is on time, especially when you have connecting passengers as we have in Rome.
Well, thanks, Jorg. Thanks, gentlemen, for appearing on this brief panel. Do have a drink, and Theo, I think we have and Campbell, an airplane to present to Jorg, at least for picture purposes.
Very nice.
Yeah.